The day began like any other in the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council. Alien leaders from across the stars sat on tall, glowing platforms, voices rising and falling as they discussed trade routes, border disputes, and war taxes. But then the doors burst open. A messenger stumbled inside, his green skin pale with fear. His voice shook as he shouted, "The human colony on Vega, it's gone. Destroyed. No survivors." The chamber went silent. Screens lit up, showing the smoking ruins of what had once been a bustling human settlement. Buildings cracked open like eggshells. Fields burned in eerie blue fire. Lifeless bodies floated in space, tiny and helpless against the vast black void. The ones responsible, the Zarin Dominion, admitted to it proudly. Their commander, his black armor shining, declared before the entire council, "Humans were warned not to build on our borders. They ignored us. So we erased their outpost. Let this be a lesson." The council murmured in agreement. Many had always thought Earth was too bold, too fast in spreading its colonies. "They will surrender," one counselor said calmly, his long whiskers twitching. "Humans always talk about peace. They won't fight back." Another counselor laughed, a deep, echoing sound. "Fight back? Against the Zarin? Impossible. The humans have small fleets, weak weapons, old ships. They will beg for mercy by the end of the day." But they were wrong, because Earth said nothing. No message came, no threats, no cries for help, just silence. 1 hour passed, then 2, then an entire day. The council expected fear, but what they got was nothing. A tall, blue-scaled alien leaned forward, uneasy. "Why haven't they responded? The humans are quick to talk, always sending diplomats and protests for the smallest things. This time, nothing." The Zarin commander smirked. "They are afraid. Their little planet has finally learned its place." But deep down, some counselors felt it, a cold weight in their stomachs. Something wasn't right. A silence like this felt dangerous. The veteran among them, General Torvak of the Draken clans, had seen 100 wars. He narrowed his yellow eyes at the burning colony on the screen. "A wounded prey sometimes plays dead," he muttered. "Then, when the hunter grows careless, it bites." The others dismissed him. "Humans? Bite?" One counselor scoffed. "They don't have the teeth." But General Torvak kept watching the silent Earth on the holoscreens. His instincts told him this was not weakness. This was waiting. 2 days passed. The Zarin commander grew restless. He sent scouts near Earth's borders, expecting to find panic, fleets gathering to surrender, something. But the scouts found nothing unusual. On the 3rd day, everything changed. A single human ship appeared at the edge of Zarin space. It was small, unimpressive. Its hull looked old, even damaged in places. The council chamber laughed when they saw it on the screens. One ship? That's all they have. The Zarin fleet, massive and armed with thousands of cannons, surrounded the lone vessel. "Send them a message," the Zarin commander ordered. "Tell them to leave or be destroyed like the others." The human ship didn't respond. It kept moving forward, slowly, silently, straight toward the heart of the Zarin armada. The commander's lips curled. Fire! Dozens of plasma cannons roared to life. The council screens lit up with explosions as the human ship was swallowed by fire. When the smoke cleared, the aliens expected to see nothing but debris. But the ship was still there. Not a scratch. Confused murmurs spread through the council chamber. "Fire again!" the commander shouted. More plasma storms hit the human ship. The same result. The blasts passed through some kind of invisible shield, something no one had ever seen before. Then, for the first time, the human ship spoke. A calm, cold voice echoed through every channel. "You destroyed our people. Now we answer." One shot. That was all it took. A beam of white energy cut through space like the finger of a god. The nearest Zarin battleship, huge, powerful, feared across the stars, split apart in seconds, burning as its pieces drifted into the void. The council chamber gasped. The human ship fired again. Another battleship exploded. Then another. In less than 5 minutes, the entire Zarin fleet was nothing but fire and wreckage. The lone human ship turned and disappeared into hyperspace, leaving only silence behind. The council members sat frozen in their seats. If this was only one ship, what else was Earth hiding? The Galactic Council had no words after the destruction of the Zarin fleet. One single human ship had erased an armada feared across half the galaxy. Entire species who had once laughed at Earth now sat in uneasy silence. But Earth said nothing. No threats, no demands, no speeches, just silence. Terrified them more than the attack itself. Inside the council chamber, debates erupted. Some alien leaders shouted for immediate peace talks. Others demanded the complete invasion of Earth before it grew even stronger. But none of them truly understood what had just happened. How could one small planet, barely known a century ago, destroy fleets built over thousands of years? The answer came soon enough. The first move. On the 4th day after the Zarin massacre, another human ship appeared. Not in Zarin space. This time, it appeared in the Council's own star system. Alarms blared across the capital world. Defense platforms powered up. Hundreds of interceptors launched to surround the lone vessel. Council security forces shouted orders. Do not let it near the capital. Destroy it if it comes closer. But the human ship didn't approach the planet. It just hovered there in the darkness of space, silent, calm, watching. Messages were sent. Demands for identification. Warnings to leave. No response. The council chamber was filled with angry voices. Fire on it! Shouted one counselor, his tentacles shaking. We cannot let them threaten our homeworld. But the veteran, General Torvak, the only one who had sensed danger earlier, raised a clawed hand. Wait, he growled. Last time you fired first, and your fleet died for it. The room fell silent. The memories of the Zarin fleet burning in space were still fresh in everyone's mind. So the council waited. The message. Finally, after hours of silence, the human ship sent a transmission. A single sentence appeared on every screen. Return the bodies of our dead, or we will take them ourselves. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Some leaders screamed, They dare threaten us? Others whispered in fear, remembering the destroyed Zarin fleet. The Zarin Dominion leader, furious and humiliated, refused. Those bodies are ours. They invaded our land. They were criminals. But before the council could even vote, the human ship moved. Not toward the planet. Toward the Zarin embassy orbiting above the capital. The strike. The Zarin embassy was a fortress in space, armed with heavy shields and guarded by dozens of warships. The human ship approached slowly, like a predator circling its prey. The Zarin fleet opened fire first. It made no difference. The human ship's shields absorbed everything the same way they had before. Then, the humans attacked. White beams cut through Zarin ships like paper. One by one, the warships exploded in silent bursts of light. Within minutes, the Zarin defenses were gone. The human ship sent drones, sleek, black machines that moved too fast for the eye to follow. They entered the embassy, bypassing every lock and barrier, and retrieved the remains of the dead colonists. All of this happened while the entire council watched, helpless. Not one alien ship dared to intervene. The warning. When the drones returned to the human ship, another message appeared on the council screens. We do not seek war with the galaxy, but harm another human, and we will answer. Then the human ship vanished into hyperspace. The council chamber fell into stunned silence again. The Zarin leader screamed in rage, demanding retaliation. But no one supported him this time, because everyone had seen what happened. The speed of the human drones, the power of their weapons, the way they struck with precision and then disappeared like ghosts. It was not brute force. It was control, cold, calculated, deadly. Fear in the council. That night, the council leaders met in secret. Some whispered, if Earth has such ships, how many do they have? Others wondered aloud, where did they get this technology? No known species has weapons like these. General Torvak spoke finally, his voice low. You fools thought humans were weak because they were peaceful. But peace does not mean weakness. It only means patience. And now, their patience is over. No one argued, because in their hearts, they all knew the truth. The humans had not even begun to fight. The galaxy did not sleep after the second incident. News spread faster than light across hundreds of worlds. A single human ship had walked into the capital system, destroyed the Zarin embassy defenses, retrieved their dead, and vanished without a single loss. Entire civilizations trembled. The Galactic Council gathered again, this time in secret. The Grand Chamber was dark, the usual glowing banners dimmed. No reporters, no public audience, only leaders, military chiefs, and the fear that filled their voices. They were supposed to be weak, hissed one counselor, his many eyes darting nervously. Humans were explorers, traders, farmers. Where did they get such weapons? Another counselor slammed his fist on the table. We cannot allow this to continue. If they have such technology, they will become a threat to all of us. But the veteran, General Torvak, spoke in his deep, gravelly voice. You still do not understand. If what we have seen is only a fraction of their strength, then they are already a threat. And attacking them again will only wake the rest of their power. His words made the chamber fall silent. The spies, while the council argued, the Zarin Dominion acted. They sent stealth ships toward Earth, determined to learn the truth. If humans had fleets of these unstoppable ships, the galaxy needed to know. The spies crept through the solar system's edges, using cloaking devices older than some planets themselves. They expected to find Earth unprepared, still relying on weak old satellites and civilian stations. What they found instead froze their blood. The first glimpse. The spy ships sent back images before they vanished. Not simple warships, but massive structures hidden in Earth's shadows. On the dark side of the moon, giant hangars opened like the jaws of beasts. Inside them were ships larger than anything the galaxy had ever built, angular, black, and silent. Their surfaces swallowed light like living shadows. On Mars, entire canyons hid fleets of destroyers, their hulls carved with strange symbols no alien had ever seen. Beneath Earth's oceans, enormous shapes slept under layers of ice and water, waiting. And near Jupiter, something even bigger drifted among the gas giant storms. A ship so massive it looked like a floating city, its engines cold, for now. The spies managed to transmit only fragments of images before they disappeared, one by one, swallowed by sudden flashes of light. No one knew what destroyed them. The council's panic. When the images reached the council, chaos erupted. This is impossible, one counselor shouted, his voice trembling. Earth is a minor planet. They should not have fleets like this. Where did they get the resources? Another demanded. Who helped them build this? But no one had answers, because the truth was worse than anyone expected. The ships didn't look new. They looked old, ancient even, as if they had been sleeping for centuries, waiting for the day someone was foolish enough to wake them. The human silence. The council tried to contact Earth. Messages were sent offering peace, demanding explanations, even threatening war. Earth ignored them all. Not a single word came from the humans. And the silence grew heavier with each passing day. It was not the silence of fear. It was the silence of a hunter watching its prey, deciding when to strike. The first movement. Then, on the seventh day, Earth's fleets moved. From the moon's shadows, from Mars' caves, from beneath the oceans. They rose into the blackness of space like giants waking from a long sleep. Hundreds of ships. No, thousands. They did not speak. They did not threaten. They simply formed into perfect battle formations across the solar system, their weapons glowing faintly like stars about to go supernova. The spy's last transmission. One surviving spy ship captured a final image before disappearing. A single human dreadnought drifting above Earth. Its hull was covered in ancient markings, its shape brutal and sharp, built for one purpose only: war. The ship was so massive it cast a shadow across the clouds below. And on its side, written in Earth's language, were two words the council would never forget. Black Phoenix. The fear spreads. When that image reached the council chamber, no one laughed at humans anymore. The Zarin Dominion, once so proud, demanded the council unite against Earth before it was too late. But others shook their heads. How do you fight a world that never speaks? That hides fleets under its oceans? That destroys armadas with one ship? General Torvak said nothing, because he knew what was coming next. Earth was preparing for war. A war the galaxy had started. But Earth would finish. The galaxy had seen wars before. Empires had risen and fallen. Fleets had burned in the darkness of space. But no one had ever seen what was about to come. For days, Earth's fleets had gathered in silence. On the dark side of the moon, beneath the oceans, inside Mars' caves, near Jupiter's storms. Now they moved. The first strike. It began at the edge of Zarin space. A single human fleet appeared, black and silent, like shadows drifting among the stars. Zarin warships rushed to intercept, thousands of them forming walls of metal and fire. They laughed at first. The humans had numbers now, yes, but the Zarin had centuries of battle experience. The Zarin commander raised his voice, proud and cold. Fire everything. Leave nothing alive. Missiles, plasma bolts, railgun slugs, an entire storm of weapons filled space, turning it into blinding light. When the light faded, the human fleet was still there. Not one ship had fallen. Then the humans fired back. The unseen weapons. It wasn't plasma. It wasn't missiles. It was something new. Something the galaxy had never seen. Blue-white beams cut through shields as if they were paper. Drones moved faster than sensors could track, slicing through enemy ships with surgical precision. Zarin warships exploded one by one, entire cruisers breaking apart like toys in the hands of giants. The humans didn't waste shots. Every strike was exact, cold, efficient. The Zarin fleet, the pride of a galactic empire, fell apart in less than an hour. The council watches. In the Grand Council chamber, alien leaders stared at the live feed in stunned silence. Ships that had once terrorized half the galaxy were dying like flies. One counselor whispered, They don't even miss. Every shot kills. Another shook his head slowly. No, it's worse than that. They planned this. Every fleet, every target. They knew exactly where to hit. The veteran General Torvak spoke softly, almost with respect. They are not fighting a war. They are teaching a lesson. The human fleet advances. After destroying the border fleets, the humans didn't stop. They pushed deeper into Zarin territory, moving like a storm that could not be slowed. Cities on occupied worlds went dark as human ships disabled military power grids. Enemy weapons silenced before they could fire. Yet civilians were never harmed. Human fleets struck only at soldiers, only at war machines. It was power with control. Cold, precise, unstoppable. The Zarin plea. Finally, the Zarin Emperor himself sent a message to Earth. His voice trembled before billions watching across the galaxy. Stop this. We will return your lands. We will pay reparations. Just stop. But Earth said nothing. The fleets kept moving. One by one, Zarin shipyards burned. Weapon depots vanished in fire. Orbital defense platforms crumbled like sandcastles before a rising tide. The galaxy realized something horrifying. The humans were not fighting for survival anymore. They were dismantling an empire. The superweapon revealed. Then came the Leviathan. A ship so massive it blotted out the stars as it entered Zarin space. 10 times larger than any dreadnought. Engines glowing like small suns. Its main cannon charged, a sphere of white fire growing at its core. Sensors across the galaxy watched in disbelief as the Leviathan fired once, and an entire military moon cracked apart, its pieces drifting into space like broken glass. It wasn't a battle anymore. It was a message. The Council's fear. Panic spread among the Council worlds. If Earth had ships like this, how many more were sleeping under their oceans? Inside their planets? What else were the humans hiding? Whispers spread in the chamber. Are we next? Will they come for us after the Zarin? No one can stop them. The human silence. Through it all, Earth remained silent. No victory speeches. No threats. No demands. The fleets moved like machines carrying out a plan written long ago. A plan that ended with the total destruction of the Zarin military. The final blow. The Zarin homeworld sky turned black as human fleets appeared above it. Defensive cannons fired desperately. Fighters screamed through the atmosphere. None survived. The humans didn't bomb cities. They didn't harm civilians. They targeted only the weapons, only the fleet bases, only the Emperor's palace guard. And then, it was over. The Zarin Dominion had no military left. Its fleets, its pride, its power, gone in less than 2 weeks. The galaxy holds its breath. When the last human ship left Zarin space, the galaxy waited for the next move. Would Earth demand tribute? New territories? Slaves? But Earth said nothing. The fleets returned to their silent orbits around the solar system, weapons still glowing faintly like the eyes of predators in the dark. The galaxy realized the war was not over. It had only begun. The war was over, but the galaxy did not feel safe. The Zarin Dominion, the empire that had once terrorized half the known stars, was gone. Its fleets destroyed, its weapons shattered, its leaders silent. And yet, Earth said nothing. No victory speech, no demands, no threats. The human fleets simply returned to the solar system, quiet and cold, like predators who had hunted and then vanished into the shadows. But the silence scared the galaxy more than the war itself. The emergency meeting. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Inside the Great Chamber, alien leaders shouted over each other, voices echoing across the high walls. Some demanded peace talks with Earth. Others wanted to unite all remaining fleets before it was too late. They destroyed the Zarin in days, a counselor cried, his insect-like wings shaking. Do you think they will stop there? No. We are next. Another slammed his fist on the table. They took no prisoners, accepted no surrender. This was not defense. This was punishment. But one voice rose above the chaos, the veteran General Torvak. His deep, gravelly tone cut through the noise like a blade. You fools still do not understand, he growled. The humans could have destroyed the entire Zarin homeworld. They didn't. They only destroyed its weapons, its fleets, its armies, not its people. The chamber went silent for a moment. Then a counselor whispered, trembling, "That is even worse." The fear spreads. Across the galaxy, panic spread faster than light. Civilizations that had once mocked Earth now held emergency drills. Shipyards worked day and night to build defenses that everyone knew would not matter. Merchants whispered in spaceports, "What if Earth attacks us next?" Rulers of distant worlds argued in private chambers, afraid to speak too loudly, as if Earth might be listening. The galaxy had seen powerful empires before, but they had always wanted something: land, resources, slaves. Earth wanted nothing, and that made them terrifying. The Council's secret plan. In the Council chamber, a secret plan formed. Some members whispered about forming a united fleet, a defense alliance, strong enough to fight Earth if necessary. Others demanded spies be sent into the solar system to learn the truth about the hidden human weapons. And some suggested something darker. Strike first, one counselor hissed, before they grow even stronger, before they decide to conquer us all. But the plan died before it began, because no one trusted each other enough to fight Earth together. The Council was too divided. The first betrayal. Fear breeds betrayal. One council member, leader of a minor star empire, secretly contacted Earth. He offered information about the Council's secret debates in exchange for protection. No one knew what Earth told him, but soon after, his empire quietly left the Council. They signed a non-aggression treaty with Earth without telling anyone else. And that terrified the other members even more, because it proved something everyone feared. Earth was not just strong. Earth was clever. The human message. On the 10th day after the war, the humans finally spoke. A single transmission appeared in the council chamber. It was not a speech, not a declaration, just a simple message, in cold, calm words. Do not harm our people again. Do not touch our worlds again, or the next war will not end so quickly. Then silence. No negotiations. No debates. Just a warning. The chamber in chaos. The moment the message ended, the council chamber exploded with arguments. We must unite against them, one counselor shouted. Unite? We can't even trust each other, another snapped. They will pick us off one by one if we stay divided, someone else cried. General Torvak sat in silence, his yellow eyes watching the chaos. Finally, he spoke, his voice low but carrying across the room. You still don't see it. They don't want our planets. They don't want our resources. They want only one thing, peace. And if we break it, we will not survive the next war. The council's fear. That night, the council chamber emptied slowly. Some leaders looked pale, others furious, others simply afraid. For the first time in centuries, the most powerful rulers in the galaxy felt small. Because they knew the truth. Earth had not shown its full strength. What they had seen was only the beginning, the whisper of war. On distant worlds, whispers began. Will Earth strike again? Will the Council betray them first? No one knew. But across the stars, fleets kept building. Spies kept searching. Alliances kept breaking. Because the galaxy now lived under one shadow. The shadow of Earth. The galaxy thought it had seen the full strength of Earth. They were wrong. The destruction of the Zarin fleets, the precision strikes, the silence that followed. It was only the beginning. Because Earth had kept its greatest weapon hidden. And now, the galaxy was about to see it. The Council's desperation. After Earth's warning, the Galactic Council held meeting after meeting. Some wanted peace. Some wanted war. But most were afraid. They will come for us next, one counselor whispered, his scaled hands trembling. We cannot just sit here and wait, another shouted angrily. We must attack now, before they grow even stronger. But no one moved, because deep inside, they all knew the truth. If they attacked first, it would be the end of them. The fleet that never slept. The galaxy didn't know it, but Earth was already moving. In the dark corners of the solar system, giant shipyards built in secret now came alive. Humans called it Project Nemesis. Massive warships the size of cities floated in the shadows, silent and cold, their weapons locked behind armored hulls. And at the heart of it all, slept the Titan. A ship so big it could eclipse a small moon. No one had ever seen it. No spy had returned with its image. Because Earth had buried it deep beneath the ice of Europa for decades, waiting for the day they needed it. That day had come. The first rumor. The Council first heard of the Titan through terrified whispers. A mining station near Jupiter had seen it rise from Europa's ice. They sent one transmission before vanishing. It's bigger than anything. Engines like suns. Heading for the edge of the system, and then silence. No one ever heard from them again. The galaxy watches. The Titan didn't hide. It didn't sneak through space like the smaller human fleets. It moved openly, slowly, toward a dead star system on the edge of the galaxy. A place with no planets, no people. The Council sent hundreds of probes to watch it. What they saw made entire worlds go silent. The ship was a monster. Black metal skin. Engines the size of cities. A main cannon stretching across its entire length, glowing faintly like a sleeping sun. And written along its side, in white earth letters, 2 words. Final dawn. The demonstration. The Titan stopped at the dead star system. The Council thought Earth would test its weapon on an asteroid. Maybe a moon. They were wrong. The Titan targeted the system's sun. Every telescope in the galaxy watched as the massive cannon charged, light gathering at its core until it was brighter than a star. Then it fired. One beam. Silent. White. Pure. The sun collapsed in seconds. Not an explosion. Collapse. The star itself folded inward, crushed into nothingness, leaving only darkness behind. Planets froze instantly. Their orbits shattered. Entire worlds died before anyone could even scream. And then, silence again. The council's terror. When the images reached the council chamber, no one spoke for a long time. Some trembled. Some wept. One counselor whispered, They can kill stars. Another choked out, If they can do that, they can end all of us. Every world. Every sun. General Torvak, the veteran who had watched every moment of the war, spoke softly. They have given us a message. That was not war. That was a warning. The human transmission. As the galaxy watched in horror, Earth finally sent a transmission. The message was short, calm. We will not attack unless attacked. But if you bring war to us again, there will be no stars left to hide under. And then the Titan vanished into hyperspace, returning to the solar system. The entire galaxy held its breath. The beginning of fear. On every planet, in every council hall, across every empire, the same thought spread like wildfire. What if Earth used the Titan on them next? No fleet could stop it. No weapon could match it. It was not a ship. It was a god made of metal and fire. The end of resistance. The Zaran survivors surrendered completely. Other empires canceled their secret plans for war. The idea of attacking Earth vanished like smoke in the wind. Because now, everyone knew the truth. One more mistake, and humanity would end not just fleets, not just worlds, but entire suns. The galaxy had never been this quiet before. No wars, no border fights, no threats from pirates or raiders. Even the most aggressive empires stopped moving their fleets. Because everyone had seen what Earth could do. They had seen the Titan kill a sun with one shot. And now, no one wanted to be the next target. The Council's fear. The Galactic Council met one last time after the destruction of the Dead Star. But this meeting was nothing like the ones before. No shouting. No debates. No demands for war. The leaders sat in heavy silence, their eyes dark with fear. They can kill stars, one counselor whispered softly. Do you understand what that means? They can erase entire systems, entire civilizations, and no one can stop them. Another counselor, his long silver limbs trembling, added, We used to think the Zaran Dominion was the strongest power in the galaxy. Now they are gone. And Earth did it in weeks. General Torvak, the old warrior who had watched everything unfold, leaned forward slowly. His voice was deep, steady, and heavy like iron. They didn't conquer, he said. They didn't enslave. They didn't take planets. They didn't ask for tribute. They warned us. And then they stopped. The chamber stayed silent. Because Torvak was right. Earth didn't want the galaxy. Earth wanted only peace. But peace built on fear was a dangerous thing. The broken empires. The Zaran Dominion never recovered. Its fleets were gone. Its weapons destroyed. Survivors swore never to fight humans again. Their emperor signed a treaty so fast the ink hadn't even dried when it was sent across the stars. Other empires followed. World after world sent messages to Earth promising peace, trade, and friendship. Anything to avoid becoming the next dead system. But Earth stayed silent. No speeches. No parades. The humans just rebuilt their colonies and left the galaxy alone. That silence scared everyone more than anything else. The Titan's shadow. The Titan returned to its hiding place near Jupiter, its massive hull dark against the planet's storms. But the galaxy never forgot what it had done. One shot. One star gone. Every telescope in every corner of the galaxy watched the solar system now. And whenever the Titan moved even a little, fear rippled through entire civilizations like a wave. Parents told their children bedtime stories about Earth. Not as heroes, not as villains, but as something in between. Something too powerful to fight. Or anger. The whispered legends. On distant space stations, travelers whispered over drinks. Do you know why Earth hides its fleets? One asked. Because that wasn't their only weapon, another replied darkly. The Titan is just the beginning. They have more. Weapons we haven't even seen yet. Some claimed humans had entire moons filled with war machines waiting to be awakened. Others swore Earth had ships buried under alien world centuries before they were even discovered. No one knew the truth, and Earth never answered the Council's decision. Finally, the Council passed a resolution. No world was to enter Earth space without permission. No fleet was to attack a human colony again. No spy ships were to cross into the solar system. Anyone breaking these rules would face Earth alone. And everyone knew what that meant. General Torvak's warning. Before leaving the council chamber for the last time, General Torvak spoke again. "You all fear Earth because they are strong," he said, his deep voice echoing through the hall. "But strength alone doesn't make them dangerous. It is their silence, their patience. The day they stop being patient, none of us will survive." No one argued with him, because no one could. The galaxy holds its breath. Months passed. Trade returned slowly. Fleets stayed close to home. But the galaxy never stopped watching Earth. Every time a human ship left the solar system, governments panicked, wondering if this was the day Earth would finally decide to take revenge on everyone. But the humans never attacked again. They stayed quiet, building, waiting, watching, the final whisper. One day, a single human transmission reached the council. It was not a threat, not a warning, just 8 simple words. "Do not wake the giant ever again." And then, silence. Silence that stretched across the stars. Because the galaxy finally understood. Earth was not an empire. Earth was not a conqueror. Earth was the storm that slept beneath calm waters. And if the galaxy disturbed it again, it would be the last mistake they ever made.